Hi, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Complete Sports Media Podcast. I'm your host, Darren Campbell. We've got a great breakdown today. We're going to be joined by Dale Cory. We're going to talk some hockey, some junior hockey. It's going to be a lot of fun. So can't wait. I'm glad you're joining us. Let's get into it right now. Hi, Dale. How are you?
Darren, I am awesome. It's been beautiful sunshine, lots of heat here in the Okanagan, but we're actually getting a little bit of rain today, so it's a nice break.
You have some junior hockey news about some of the leagues that have some start dates coming up. Some are actually starting up in September, which really surprises me. And most of them are starting up in December, like the NHL will do. Yeah, a local league around here in the Lower Mainland is targeting September to start up.
Yeah, well, I did a story last week for Penticton now and talked to the commissioner of the Junior B League out in this area here. So wanted to get a sense, and they're looking at October 2nd right now. So the Kootenay International Junior Hockey League is looking at starting up October 2nd. So it's a few weeks later than normal, but as I started to go around to some of the other leagues, the Pacific Junior Hockey League, the one that's based in the Lower Mainland, last I saw on their website was September 29th startup. And the Vancouver Island Junior B League had some dates, different dates and different schedules kind of set up at that point. That was about a week ago. So if they started late September, they could get a 40-game schedule or whatever it was. If it was into October, November, it might be 32 games, and the December start would be even fewer games. So they're trying to, keep all their options open at this point. BCHL has already said December 1st, which mirrors the National Hockey League for the start of the new season. The Western Hockey League, I just saw today, I believe December 4th is the date that they're going with. So most of the Junior A and major junior leagues are looking at that December start. It may be wishful thinking for the Junior B leagues at this point. I think it's going to be very difficult for them to seriously look at starting in September or October, where we're seeing so many other events canceled or changed to adapt to the lack of having a lot of fans or a lot of people in one building for an event. I'm a director in the Chamber of Commerce here. Our big Business Excellence Awards are early October, so we're looking at a bit of a hybrid model to maybe have a hub where we can host the awards from, but have a lot of venues from wineries and breweries and places like that around the community that can host 50, 60, 70 people and kind of have mini parties all over with a big screen. So they're all watching the broadcast as well and gets them involved a little more. So you have to be creative. You have to adapt to the times. And the junior leagues, like I say, the junior B leagues especially, they may be looking at an early startup of September, October, but I sense that they're probably going to have to push that back a little bit, unfortunately, because we want to see hockey going again, especially at that junior level. The NHL is great to see right now, but it's that junior level, and a lot of the games that I go to are junior A, junior B games. They're that future for the NHL, and you want to see them going next year. It would be devastating, I think, to a lot of teams. Financially, they would take a serious hit if there was no season at all. And I think a lot of them are still questioning it because if they don't start till December, they need to ensure they can make enough money to last the season and have a viable future as well. The Penticton Vees are looking to bring in players in the next few weeks. They'll start training camp at the end of August. Got some conditioning camps in about a week and a half, 2 weeks that they'll start. And then bring players in for training camp. But they're not looking at starting the regular season until December 1st. So it's going to give them 3 months of kind of an elongated training camp. They'll start to schedule some exhibition games with teams that are in close proximity geographically. So in the Lower Mainland, Chilliwack and Coquitlam and Surrey and Langley, they can start to play some games against each other, and they're all within an hour of each other approximately. And here in the Okanagan with Penticton, West Kelowna, and Vernon, Salmon Arm, Merritt, we're all pretty close. You've got Trail and now Cranbrook coming into the league. Prince George is kind of left to itself way up north, and we'll have to adapt a little bit more. But they'll stage some maybe mini tournaments and a lot of exhibition games. And my understanding is at this point will be on hockey TV. So even though fans can't go to the games at that point, we're hopeful they can go December 1st when the league starts. But at least the games will be broadcast on radio and television, and fans of those teams sitting at home will be able to still watch the games, still be able to relate to the players that much more, see what type of team they're putting together, and still get active in watching their team and cheering for them. So
nice. Well, that's excellent. That's great for you. Increase your viewership and have a lot more people tuned in all the time. So yeah, I hope that happens, and that's great. Yeah, that junior hockey level is just so fun to watch for me. I was so happy to come up and enjoy that team last year. The Vees are going for their 10th straight interior division title. They've had so much success under Fred Harbinson, and yeah, they've been able to attract a lot of amazing NHL players' sons. And last time, in case you didn't see this, the last podcast that I had with Dale, we talked a little bit about it. But 5 players last year came from NHL bloodlines. Niedermeyer, Sillinger. Yeah. Tell the viewers and listeners the guys that were there.
Well, Danny Waite was here. And of course, Doug had a tremendous NHL career, Stanley Cup winner. Niedermeyer, so of course, Scott Niedermeyer's son, and Joshua is going to be on defense this year. So there'll be 2 Niedermeyers on the Vees this year. Tristan Amante, so Tony Amonte's son. And he's a big brute force, so he'll be back this year as well, and looking forward to that. Jack Barnes was here. He's since been traded, but Stu Barnes' son. So Stu played for years with Tri-City in the Western League, and then moved on to a great NHL career. And of course, Mike Sillinger's sons, Owen played here in the past as well, and last year. So there was 5 of them. Some of them have moved on, and it's unfortunate. I mean, Danny Waite scored one of the best goals you'll ever see last year. Was a highlight reel goal where he went through the defenseman and put it through his legs to beat the goaltender. He was an amazing talent. So unfortunately, we didn't get to see the end of their junior careers because they'll go to NCAA next year. But yeah, Fred just has this insane ability to be able to get those talented players. He's got great connections, and it's not from throwing him a line. He's a great coach, a great communicator with his players, highly respects his players, and they certainly give that back to him. But it's a great community to play in with some of the best fans in Junior A hockey. There's no other team in Junior A that gets 3,000 on average every single game and puts 400 or 4,500 in on some big nights. So when he talks to these kids, you know, he can tell them the truth, and that, hey, you're going to come here, you're going to love living in Penticton. You're going to love playing in Penticton because we've got great fan support. The players are treated very, very well. The corporate dollars are there for this team, and I was involved in that back end of it a little bit more last year. You know, a great facility in South Okanagan Event Center, one of the best in Junior A hockey and junior hockey. So there's so many pluses that he can offer. And hey, that's just one team. We've got other teams. They might not have the dollars behind them, but they've got great coaches and general managers and staff as well. So they're all in the same boat of trying to attract those players there. Fred, from what I understand, as good as last year's team was, and I just truly believe they had a good chance of winning it all last year until the league was cut short on March 13th. But this year, I'm led to believe that he might even have more talent. He's traded for some players, some of the players coming back, some of the new ones coming in that already have scholarships for the year after. He's got a lot of talent there again, so it's going to be fun. We're all just waiting for that Junior A and Junior B season, those seasons to start, and see some of these young guys in action.
Yeah, I'm sure excited about it. I took a look on the website and just saw, you know, a lot of really talented guys coming from all over, especially a lot of guys coming from the Lower Mainland here. We've got guys coming from North Van, Richmond, Burnaby, West Van. See a guy from Duncan, and then there's a lot of U.S. high school guys coming. We even got a guy coming from the Swiss Elite League. It looks like a really talented bunch, and I hope we can go through a lot of these players as the season gets closer. Pierre Maguire's son is on the team coming up too. That was kind of neat to see. That'll be interesting. Hope Pierre makes some trips out there and you get an opportunity to chat
Yeah.
with him.
Well, and I mean, these players just show. I had some good conversations with Danny Wade. I mean, these kids all grew up in that atmosphere, going to the rink a lot of times, meeting the other players on the team, but understanding what it takes to be successful at that level. They've 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 had that door open to them that a lot of junior A players or junior players simply don't, and for the rest of us as well, we've been to our share of Canucks games and pro games and had an understanding what happens in the dressing room and what happens with these guys. But for those players whose fathers played in the NHL, I mean, they got a treat out of it. They got to be around that all the time, and obviously they have to have the talent, and there's some in those bloodlines definitely. But they understood what it took and how hard they had to work to still earn their right to get onto that junior team and possibly get drafted or get a scholarship and potentially see them in the NHL someday. So it's been fun to watch, and yeah, looking forward to the next season coming up soon.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. That league puts in so many guys into college. 182 committed players from last year into college, university hockey, and getting education is paramount from that league. I love it. I can't support it enough, and I can't wait for you and I to talk more, and we'll be able to break down the league as a whole, not just Penticton. We'll talk about tons of really good, talented players across the league and all the communities across this province. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait.